Okay, hello and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 10. So, in this episode, I'm going to be showing how I create kind of one of my actual little doodads over here, one of my growth acceleration modules for my things. I know I do have one over here that I could still fill up, but I want to make it an additional one because I kind of feel like I'm going to need a couple more things before we get going. So I'm going to need pipes, namely being I'm going to need at least 8 of the ultimate pipe upgrades, my pipe wrench, and we're going to grab a stack of item pipes. I've got a stack of Insanium farmland, and right now we're going to start off with, actually, I'm going to need one block to actually make this out of, and we're going to, I think, use some jungle logs. So I'm going to make it right over here. So essentially, the jungle logs will be the little down bottom layer. So let's just do this real quick. Let's go nice and simple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8, but that's going to be 8 total, and then we can go this way. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then now we just build this all over here. Perfect. Now we've got an 8x8 square down here, which is going to be perfect for plopping down our Insanium farmland. But I'm also going to need some more water. So we're actually going to need some water buckets. Water bucket. Let me remember how we use water essence to get water buckets. Nice and simple, water bucket. Just go a couple of you guys, and then what I should be able to do from here is just smack down a couple of these guys in the corners. So, actually in the centers, because I'm going to need 1, 2, so 1, 2. We'll go out like this for a little bit, because I'm going to need this space anyways for some stuff, because this is where the harvesters are going to go. So harvester 1, harvester 2, and then we can build a little bit down. And then we'll water bucket 1, water bucket 2, and that is going to be perfect for that real quick. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. I mean, overall, the goal of this is just to have actual consistent drops from all of the seeds, because I don't know if you guys saw the last one that I made, we were not getting consistent drops from all of the seeds. It was just pretty much from the ones on the corners, because the way I set up the growth accelerators, which was a little bit stupid because I used the same amount of growth accelerators as there were seeds. But then not all the seeds were getting growth accelerated, but a quarter of the seeds were getting double, or half the seeds were getting double growth accelerated, which was goofy. Just a weird way of setting it up, to be honest. But then we go water essence. We just go this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be perfect because we don't need to do much over here. We can just kind of... I mean, I will plop down some stuff underneath just for aesthetics' sake, but that's going to be that guy. Then we can just do pretty much the exact same thing over here. And the reason I'm making it 8x8 is because I want to have more generation for gold seeds, hop graphite seeds, iron seeds, copper seeds, diamond seeds, netherite seeds, and emerald seeds. And then this will also feed directly into our compressing stuff and our optimized system. So I have not done a ton of work in between episodes, but this is pretty much gonna be just an episode on showing you guys how to set up more efficient. This isn't the most efficient, it's not maximized for efficiency on materials, it's just more efficient than a normal setup would be. Anyway, we're gonna chuck in an awakened supremium machine upgrade into each of these guys, because we're not limited on awakened supremium stuff anymore. We're also going to chuck in a nitro energy cell that will actually be combined to both of them, which will be right here. And this guy will be taking out power and putting in power. And then from here, let's actually get ourselves our Insanium farmland put down, because there's no reason not to, really. It's just kind of a waste of time if we don't, because we got to get the seeds down before we can put the growth accelerators down. And the reason why I'm using Insanium farmland is it is the fastest by far. There's no, like, creative farmland that instantly grows crops, which would be cool, but... ah, dang it. Oh, that's a bummer. But what I should be able to do is Insanium farmland. We need 2 more. And overall, it's just a really cool, really optimized, really good way of doing this. And really happy with how everything's been going. That should be able to water up everything. And now we'll start getting seeds down. So, hop graphite seeds are what we're going to need in order to get the ultimate, essentially what we're going to need for, you know, reactors eventually. I'm not going to do that immediately, but it is something that we're going to need to do. Anyway, we're going to get the netherite, the emerald seeds down over here, and then the copper seeds are going to go there, the iron seeds are going to go there, and then the rest of these seeds are all the tier 1 and tier 2 seeds, which are going to just go and fill this space up right here. Of course, we got more honey seeds. I do have honey seeds growing faster, but having everything be consistent and laid out like this, as opposed to being in the perfectly optimized for speed and accelerated growth system, which is up a little bit, because essentially what it is just every growth accelerator or growth accelerant that doesn't cost us like all of our stuff, and it's kind of crazy. But anyway, we've got you guys, and then I guess I did some mismath, because we're left with a couple extra seeds, which are the fish and the sheep seeds, which honestly don't really matter, so I'm gonna chuck those guys back in there. And from here, we're actually gonna need some glowstone, so glowstone. Now we will chuck the glowstone, outlining this right along here, which is perfect. And the glowstone is so that these actually have light, because they need light to grow, and of course, when they're trapped underneath the growth accelerators, they won't really have a ton of light. So anyway, now we're going to get the item pipes set up, which the item pipes are just going to be a simple system, just perfectly straight pipes that go just like this, and that will feed right into you. So these guys, I'm going to have to make a little bit of a joint over at that end, because it's a little bit more squirrely over here. But what I can do is I can just go like this. And that's perfect. And then I can chuck in the rest of the item pipes. Of course, these guys are all going to be pumping out. So what I can do is I can just install them real quick. Just install the netherite upgrades, because the netherite upgrades will actually allow them to move all of the actual products, because at the current rate, we're not going to be able to remove all of the products from these guys. Pipe upgrade. Pipe upgrade. Wait, did I miss one over here? Did I miss one? Ultimate pipe upgrade. Ultimate pipe upgrade. That one. That one doesn't have one? I want it. Ah. It's not letting me access it, so... oh. There we go. It was just being a visual bug. That's weird. But anyway, now we got the pipe wrench. And I'm realizing getting energy into this one is going to be a little bit different. But that's just because of how I had the other one set up, which I might be changing soon. But now we're going to get it all hooked up to the energy cables real quick. And of course, we're going to do this pretty much the same way. I'm probably going to end up using power cables, because you can put multiple within one block, kind of like the old Ender IO cable stuff. And it should be quite nice, but overall, I do think that they are the most optimized cables, as well as you can move through them. Like, they're not an actual solid block, it's just a essentially an air block with a cable inside of it. So it's like an actual cable IRL, which is nice because it means that we don't have to worry about a ton of stupid things. Anyway, let's get you as well, and then we can chuck away the... Wait, I'm gonna need way more of those cables. Cable. That's a can. Cable. There we go. And that should be enough because we already have stuff up there. So now what we're gonna do is growth accelerator. And the growth accelerators are just gonna go, you know, straight on. No reason for them not to. Because enough light's already getting in there for everywhere that we don't have to worry about really anything, which is great. I love it. It's actually amazing, to be honest. That we can just kind of plop these guys down and do as much as we possibly can to optimize this stuff. Even though it does get a little bit dark in the middle, it still gets enough light for them to grow, which is optimal. So then we chuck the energy cables on, and they're already going to be connected because we don't have to worry about that at all. Thanks to this little connection from that joint. But let's just do this real quick. Get every last one connected, and then these guys are going to be using quite a bit of power, but not an insane amount of power. I think they use 40 or 80 FE per tick, which is not crazy. But now what we'll do is these solar panels, we're going to go right there, and then right here, and right here. And this is the whole thing. So now, as they grow, they have power, they're going to grow, and then the seeds are going to automatically go in. This is crafting up our netherite, or not our netherite, nether star stuff. So that we have 3,000 nether star shards, which means we get 1,000 extra nether stars, which we'll then utilize to compress into nether star blocks, just like so, so that we can get even more nether star blocks, because nether star blocks are cool. And then from there we go nether star block times 1s. We have 38 of those guys, and we'll get 4 nether star blocks times 2, which is 81 blocks. So in total we have so many blocks of nether stars, it's absurd. You guys don't even understand. It's crazy. It's actually stupid. There's no reason for it to be this way. But we can chuck the jungle logs back in there, and now I'm actually going to show you guys how to breed trees. So /warp bee heaven. So in here are bees, and the reason why there are bees in here is to pollinate trees. So when you have, particularly, it's nighttime, so certain bees are out that aren't necessarily the best. So we're actually going to go home, and we're going to sleep because we want to make sure that things are going the way that they're supposed to. So plop you in there. Now we'll go to bee heaven. And now the lumber bees are out. So the lumber bees harvest wood and leaves, and in the process also pollinate things because they are interacting with trees. And the reason why we want the pollen is so that we can breed the trees, because in order to breed a tree, you need to have a bee pollinate or have a particular tree's kind of pollen and put it on the leaves, and then that leaf has the chance of, when you break it, giving you the sapling of the breeded tree pair. So it only works if you pollinate a tree that can breed with the other tree that you're using the pollen of, and you need the particular pollen in order to get a specific result, which is why I've been working so hard on gathering as many pollens as I can, as well as many leaves and other bees and such. So this has been going for quite some time because I AFK'd a little bit, and what we should be able to do now is when I break these, we're actually going to get some new trees because there's some pollinated leaves here. And when I break them, I'm going to get some sandalwood saplings, which are a new sapling that we haven't gotten yet. And it's going to give us that achievement. We're going to get some more pollinated leaves, which is going to give us purple heart sapling, because that's a new one, again, because I have set it up in a way so that multiple trees are going to be breeding together, and they're all going to be producing very specific wood types. That's exactly the ones that we need for specific quests, which is a very optimized way, and that's the reason why this isn't like a circle or a cube. is because to have it optimized, everything needs to be within a certain range, and it's a 4-block radius of these specific stuff, so we need to make sure that everything's going properly. Anyway, we got rose gum, mahogany caphawk, we got sandalwood, we got purple heart, pink ivory, Brazil wood we already had, and now I think that is all of the particular ones we're after, was those 4. So I should be able to harvest all these trees, and then we'll actually look into what we need tree-wise for the rest of them. By the way, I would recommend using, the reason why I'm using my pickaxe is actually because it has an insane level of fortune, which is what you need in order to get enough luck to get the specific saplings that you need, because it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. Anyway, we're going to get all of the saplings clicked in there, and then all the wood chucked away. Of course, we've got to loot all of the leaves and such, and the leaves, most of which are unfortunately not very useful. I'm trying to find a way to actually utilize them without just throwing them away, but at this point I might just start trashing them because they're taking up a bunch of space. But that's more based on the types and the amount of different types of leaves than it is about the amount of leaves, because we can store pretty much an infinite amount in each stack of our system. It's just about the specific type of leaves, because I think we've got a full netherite barrel full of different leaves types, which is quite crazy because that's almost 120 slots. But overall, we're getting a bunch of the pollen here, which is great. Although I don't think that there's a ton more things that we're going to need to pollinate, but if I need a particular sapling and I miss it, at least we're going to have that pollen just in case I need to rebreed it, because, you know, there's a chance that I mess up and I accidentally get rid of stuff or delete stuff, and having that as a backup safety plan is going to be great. So, anyway, now we're going to go into our quest stuff, and we're actually going to look into productive trees. So, last time I went for the pink ivory, the purple heart, sandalwood, and then, of course, green heart, which was a thing. And essentially, the reason why I went for that was just because we could get them all at once. Anyway, mahogany, red maple, rosewood and teak, rosewood and caphawk. What other things can rosewood get other than logwood? So, breeding trees, of course, you look into tree pollination. So, we can get cinnamon from the... So, we need teak and caphawk. So, teak, of course, we're going to grab 2 of. Caphawk, we're going to grab 2 of. Rosewood is down here. We're going to grab 2 of them as well. And these guys are actually going to go in a different arrangement. So, since the rosewood needs to go to the caphawk and the teak, what's going to happen is the rosewood's going to go there. Caphawk's going to go there. And then caphawk's also going to go there. Teak's going to go there. Teak's going to go there. And I think I'm going to grab 1 more rosewood because it needs to be going throughout everything. So, and now what we need is some bone meal, which hopefully I have a way to craft a rib. Withered rib, shoot. Bone. Skeleton. Skeleton essence. And can I craft up skeleton essence into bone meal, or just bones? Okay, holy, that's gonna be a lot of bones. Also, there's a much more efficient way of making singularities that someone told me in the comments. I forgot your name, I'm sorry. But I really appreciate you telling me that I can just utilize the thing known as, the sink to get infinite of whatever I need, really. Also, this teak is not wanting to grow, so... That's annoying. Come on, teak, will you grow for me? Oh, that's a bummer. What about you? Okay, you grew fine, you grew fine, you grew fine. Why is this teak not wanting to grow? Will you grow right here? Probably, because it's not next to a glass. There we go, perfect. So now we've got all of the different kinds of leaves all pressed up together, which is perfect. teak log, we got our teak saplings, we got our bone meal, but that's only going to be one small branch of this. So, red maple, mahogany. Okay, what can we breed a lot of? So European larch can breed with more things. So European larch, we're gonna actually check out what the European larch can breed with in order to produce things. So we need bull pine, which we don't have. We can make red maple from that. We can make I don't have sugar maple because that's another European larch one. European larch, there we go. And so then we get those guys. Bull pine is European larch, so we can bull pine. Silver fir we don't have yet. Alder we have, which we can get the balsam fir. Then the yew, and then we can silver fir, European larch. Silver fir is balsam fir and bull pine, so we need the European larch for that first. So what I think I'm gonna do is we're gonna need the European larch right here. We're gonna grab 3 of you, and then I need to get, let's see, silver lime, spruce, alder. So alder is this one. 1, 2, actually I think we grab 6 of you guys, and then we grab 2 of each. So 2 of you, and then I've got spruce, 2 of you. It's the spruce sapling, and then we go alder, silver lime, which is this one, 2 of you, which is perfect. And then the yew is European larch and spruce as well. So we go 4 spruce and then 6 European larch, and this should work perfectly. So these are gonna go into the normal spots that things go, and then also in the direct middle of you guys and right here, because we want maximum coverage of these guys. So we're gonna grow them last because the last ones overwrite the previous ones. And then we're gonna go alder is gonna be, I don't know if alder will breed with the other trees is the main issue, but we may need alder to breed with the other trees. So I'm thinking I do it like this. Alder's gonna go there. Then from there, spruce is gonna go there and there, as well as there and there. And then the silver lime are gonna go, I think we put 1 here. And then we can put, and I could put 1 here. I don't know. That one's too far up because this is supposed to go there. There we go. Okay. I think I put another one over here. And then we get that to grow. So silver lime, and then we'll grow the alder, grow the spruce, then we'll grow the European larch. Of course, then we grow this spruce. If it'll grow. Of course, it may just want to not. For no reason in particular, so we'll put it on this side, I guess. There we go. Then we'll grow the European larch, then we'll grow the silver lime, more European larch, then we'll grow the spruce. Which doesn't want to grow again, so I'll put it here, I guess. The spruce are really picky. I don't know what the full requirements are for tree growth, but, you know, stuff wants to be picky, so it's fine. I also don't know fully what will grow with spruce, so we might want to check out as an additional add-on thing what will grow with spruce, because what I can do is, since this is growing, what we'll do is we'll take spruce and we'll give it a look at this stuff. So we have ash, and then we need bull pine, we need silver fir, which is bull pine, then we get the yew, and then we get birch, which is how we got the European larch. What about, for making this one, was those 2. What about alder? What does alder want to grow with? So alder plus rowan, we don't have. Alder plus holly. Holly is alder plus rowan, so we can't do that yet. Okay, so alder, let's check this out again. So beech plus alder is aspen. I don't think I have yet, so we need to add beech in. We can also add in wild cherry. So beech, yeah, it's looking like beech. We add in beech, which is down, it's up here, right? Beech, yep, 1, 2. We'll add in 2 beech trees. And then while we're looking at it, since we need this stuff, that's that again. What else will go with silver lime? So, we already have wild cherry, I already have ash. Elm is silver lime and ash. Okay. White willow we already have, white poplar we already have, sweet chestnut is walnut, so add walnut. Okay. Add walnut, add balsa. Walnut, balsa, and it looks like walnut and balsa we can add. So balsa is gonna be this one. Then walnut is where's walnut? Walnut. There we go. And then we'll add 2 walnut saplings, and the whole reason behind this is just getting the maximum that we can from this whole situation. So we'll add a walnut sapling there. Actually, I can add these guys in, like, the gaps over to the side. So this is gonna be a gap right over here. We'll add a walnut right here. Then I will add a beech right here. Because the pollen will carry throughout the area around the hive, which is perfect. And then I'll put another beech over here, another walnut over here. And then we can put the balsa right up under these guys as well, because there's no reason to. Balsa doesn't grow as tall as the other ones. The other balsa right here. And then everything will interbreed and grow together and go perfect. The one thing I do need to make sure of, though, is that the beehives are not clogged so that the bees can all get out. And what I'll also want to do is, since it's looking like it's nighttime, I'm going to actually grab out some of these guys. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all of these bees. Also, this particular bee seems to be a little stuck. Or not stuck, apparently. But the reason why I'm taking care of these bees is because I don't want the zombies and the skeleton bees actually in here. And the issue with them is that they breed with the other bees, and they actually turn the other bees into the skeleton and zombie bees, which is not great. And the reason why I don't want them is because they don't do anything. They're not a good pollinator, they're not a good helpful thing. They just harass the other bees and then are a pain. So that should be all of them. What we can do is we can actually grab out this and check by flying around a little bit. And the bees, some bees trapped in the leaves, unfortunately, which I do want to let out. And now they're coming over here, which means that's a perfect opportunity to get rid of them. And then those bees are going to go to sleep. What we're going to do, we're going to go back home, we're going to take another nap, and then when we go back into the bee heaven area, that's what we're going to do, is we're going to breed bees. So there's a skeleton bee right there that I want to take care of real quick. And then we should be able to just breed bees from here. So these bees are all going to want to come over because they see me holding some cherry flowers, which is the whole point of this. So cherry, essentially these are just, it's a flower, but the lumber bees will harvest them as time goes on, depending on if they exist within the range of the bees, which is quite cool because overall, these bees are quite amazing. So another thing I want to do actually, while we're here, I'm gonna go bee. So sturdy bee cages. We're gonna grab 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want high productivity, which seems like we got from all of them, which is perfect because it's not guaranteed. Then we warp or S warp warped warp B. It's up at the top. There we go. And then in here, this is the bee breeding chamber. What we're gonna do is we're gonna actually chuck in that, and that, and that, and then what we'll do is we'll get bee cages, and we're gonna actually breed a ton of these bees. So the reason why we want the shoot, I forgot you can't breed lumber bees with lumber bees. You can only breed I need the carpenter bees again. Carpenter bee, green, yellow and green carpenter bees, and okay, if I breed a yellow carpenter bee and that and a lumber bee, it won't give me anything. But if I breed a yellow carpenter bee and a green carpenter bee, it'll give me that. And then I need speedier, so we'll grab the, wait, are they in here? They are, perfect. So chuck in the breeders real quick, chuck those guys in, and I guess I can chuck the lumber bees back in here. And what I'll do is we want the high output. So diurnal endurance weak, we want normal and the temper to be normal. So we want the ones that are going to end up over here. Most of them are going to end up being medium with weak endurance. We want high endurance because that'll increase the output. And the reason for that is just because it'll increase output, which is perfect. If we can get higher than that, it's even more optimal, but it's not incredibly likely. But thankfully, I do think that we're going to be able to get some because we have a ton of these. So sturdy bee cages, I can just shift click these out for a bit, and these are all speedier upgrades, so this is going at maximum possible speed, which is quite nice. Of course, the zombies and stuff are always going to get in eventually, it's just a matter of time, and it's kind of annoying to be honest, but thankfully, I grab you, and I grab you. High, normal. High, perfect. Let me just grab you guys again. So those guys are the good ones. And the reason why we want those ones in particular is just because they're just so much better. It's more efficient. They're not going to be super weak. They're not going to be super trashy. They're just going to be perfect and exactly optimal for this. So of course, we're going to get a couple more. I think I'm going to get a total of a full stack of them, so that's going to be, you know, almost all these guys, but it looks like about a third of the bees that we've got are actually the best production for these bees, which is a little bit of a bummer, but overall it's not too bad. Not upset, it's just kind of annoying. And of course, there's the off chance that we get something that's going to be actually, like, insanely good, which is really, really what we want, but it's looking like we didn't get any of those. So, what we'll do from here is these bees will actually get kind of set free in a way. So, these bees are gonna just, get chucked out here, because there's no reason for them not to be. Like, I have no use for the inferior bees, so there's just no real reason why I would ever need to keep them if they're not going to be productive for me. Of course, we do want to actually gather genes, so there's very particular genes, like genetics, that you can get from bees, for increasing certain things as well as changing up certain stats. And the reason for us gathering these is because we can breed bees with particular genetics to get even better bees than you can get normally through the normal bee genetics, which are unfortunately a little bit difficult to work with. So what we're gonna do We're gonna grab all the bee genes that we possibly can, and you can actually upgrade them and maximize them out by essentially doing this. So you take these, and then we're gonna grab all of the weather tolerance gene samples. These are all weather tolerance none, unfortunately, which makes them a little bit pointless. But now what we'll do is we'll chuck them in here, and then we'll just keep chucking them in here and upgrading them a little bit. 22%, 30%, then we'll get to 32, 34, 36, and we can of course combine multiple at once to just get a total of 54% weather tolerance none, which is unfortunate, but I mean, it's not going to be perfect, so. Then we're going to grab the endurance stuff, and what we really want is the strong endurance. So strong endurance is going to be the best one that we can possibly get. And we're currently at 12% for that. Ooh, and we've got even more. So weak endurance, if we combine weak and strong endurance, they won't combine. So what we need to do is actually combine strong and strong. So strong endurance, strong endurance. That gives us a total of 21% strong endurance, which is quite good. Very happy about that, because as of right now, our endurance is not looking great. So, we got weak endurance, then we got medium endurance, and strong endurance. Now we're going to upgrade and look at the gene samples for the daytime-nighttime. And what we optimally want is, we want a rarer gene that will give us, essentially, where it doesn't care about if it's day or night. I don't know if that exists in this particular version, but that's what we really want. So nocturnal, we have at 3%, diurnal at 36%. Pretty good genes overall. Also got the netherite bees specific type of bee. We also have the aggression gene isolated, which what we can do is, I guess, passives. And what we want really is the full passive, because the bees, when they're normal, it's kind of in between. Like, if you hit them, they will hit you back. If they're passive, they won't hit you back. Because I'm worried about if they hit me back, because if they hit me back, they're not going to live, which is very unfortunate. Anyway, what we want is the productivity gene to be high. So, of course, there's normal productivity, medium, high productivity. There's also weak, but looks like normal we have at 2%. High, we can probably get up quite a bit from here because we got a bunch of high productivity genes, which is perfect. You'll love to see it. Actually very happy with how the genes have been collecting, because before it was taking a while just because I didn't have enough gene sample stuff. So we got normal, medium, high productivity. We also have the weather tolerance up here, which will go down there. Then we've got the bee typing, lapis bees, draconic bees. So we got draconic at 2%, draconic at 1%. We also have arcane crystal and arcane crystal. We also have draconic over here. So what we really want is to get these guys up to the point where I can just breed them based on pure genes and give any bee kind of whatever genes I want to, but that's not really possible quite yet. So we're just going to combine those guys. 18% draconic, pretty dope overall. And I think what we'll be able to do is craft up like a god bee eventually, but for now that's quite some ways away. We're going to need a bunch of this draconic comb because we're actually gathering it because I need to make the heated centrifuge, which goes even faster and doesn't give us wax as a byproduct, which is a little helpful because wax, to be honest, it's a little bit of a pain. Anyway, we're gonna get the lumber bees. We're gonna chuck that in there. Just chuck that in there too, because why not? And then these lumber bees need to grow, so we're gonna grab 8, 8, and 8, and then I need a bunch of honey treats. So this is gonna go through a lot of honey treats because it's gonna essentially grow them instantly. I need 2 more speediers, so that it goes maximum speed, speedier. Yep, of course, I didn't fully upgrade everything with full speediers yet, because they go fast anyways, but, you know, It's fine. I'll be fine. Any more honey treats? Dang it, I go through so much honey. It's kind of crazy. So, honey treats. That's why we needed more honey stuff in the beginning of this episode, by the way, or it's part of the reason. But, anywho, looks like got... yeah. Why am I growing adult bees into more adult bees? How does that make sense? Huh? Why does it let me do that? Is there a benefit to that? Can you like mature the bees even farther and make them more optimized or something, or does that just not work at all? Like does it just ruin all the odds of everything? Because if it's good, I'd love to do it more, but I doubt it is, because what would it give? Anyway, bee cages are gonna go there. Centrifuge, we got 19 Draconic dust, and then 20 Draconic dust, which is cool. We just need Draconic chunks, which are the next tier up, which is, we got 4 of, which is a little bit of a bummer. But anywho, I'm gonna end this episode here. Let's go deposit off our bees in here, because there's no real reason not to. And we'll check back in, and I will explain essentially, I'm gonna make single videos for this mod pack anyway, on explaining how these mods work by themselves. But I do appreciate all of the support, and I hope you guys will enjoy. So, anyway, GG's, peace, have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!